Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to do a quick video on handling leopard geckos. Every once in a while I'll get some comments saying that, don't pick them up by the tail, blah, blah, blah. So what I want to do today is actually go through and give you some handling tips on how to handle leopard geckos of different sizes, some of the methods that I use, and then proper handling and stuff like that for a leopard gecko. Let's start off with the most controversial, picking up by the tail. It's picking up by the tail should only be done by somebody that knows their animals very, very well and actually knows what they're doing while they're doing it. Does it hurt the animal? No, not at all. It actually sometimes is a little bit easier on the animal than picking them up from, than just like grabbing them like this. So it's just one method that you can use to actually pick up your animals and move them. I mean, you don't want to have them picked up real high, dangling them like 6 feet in the air or anything like that. Usually the only time that I use the method is to like move them from like one location to the other like real quickly, just by kind of like dragging them a little bit so they're not really ever really high in the air. Sometimes I'll do it whenever I'm putting them into their lay boxes or something like that while I'm cleaning. But for the most part, it's not for any extended periods of time. It's very quick, and it's just a simpler method to move them around. And basically, what you have to do is just like very, very softly. You just kind of pick them up by the tail. You don't grab it really hard. You don't scare them or anything like that. If you do that, then there is the definite risk of them dropping their tail. But for the most part, they don't want to drop their tail. They don't want to lose their tail. So it's actually, on an adult, it's very hard to get the tail off. I mean, you really got to yank on them to do it. So what I'm going to do is actually show you a couple methods here of how to pick them up. First, I'm going to start off with the larger animal here, showing you couple different ways to pick them up that work very, very well. The first one, and the one that I definitely suggest for like novice to do in new keepers and stuff like that, is just gently sliding underneath and then scooping them. The scoop method is very, very good. Doesn't stress them out, and then they usually, don't react. I mean, the other things that you don't want to do is come in really fast without them, knowing what's going on, stuff like that. The more you handle your animal, the more they'll sense you and know that you're there. But you don't want to scare them. If you scare them, they do have a mouth. They can bite, even though they normally don't. So again, the scooping method is just kind of getting underneath them and then gently lifting them up. And then again, you see how I move my hand whenever they're walking by putting one hand in front of the other. That will, definitely give them something else to like walk forward towards. They're usually not going to back up. They're usually always going to go forward. If you need to stop them real quick, just put your hand in front of them, and then they usually stop, just like that. That's probably the easiest way to handle them. And then, I mean, once they're picked up, they're usually pretty calm. Again, you definitely just got to know your animals, know their tendencies and stuff like that. Some animals are a little bit more jumpy than others. Usually albinos are a little bit calmer and a little bit easier to handle, but that's not necessarily always true. There's not a huge difference between males and females that I've noticed. Some people say that males make better pets or females make better pets. I haven't really seen either one like be that much better of a pet. The only thing that you might have to worry about with a female is egg binding, but that would be like very, very rare that you would see that, because usually if there's not a male around, she really won't develop eggs. But that's pretty much how you can just gently handle them. The method that I use for like real quick, instead of like scooping them underneath, sometimes I will use the tail method, where You see how I just gently pick them up and then kind of scoop underneath. That method works really well for, you know, just grabbing them real quick, moving them around. You can also like just, you know, kind of slide them from one cage or one side of the cage to the other. That method works very, very well. But again, you know, you want to know what you're doing. You want to know your animals. Some animals, they don't mind it at all. Other animals can be a little bit more jumpy to it. But for the most part, most animals are okay with, you know, the slight grab of the tail. It's not, you definitely don't want to tug on it or anything like that, or pinch it really hard. I mean, you basically want to have it just to the point where it's not going to slip out of your fingers. That's as hard as you want to grab it. You don't want to grab it very hard at all. But again, like, you just pick them up by the tail, slide your other hand underneath, and that's, you know, a simple way. As you can see, she didn't even move to do it. And then also, it's, you know, the method that you use to, like, kind of, you know, make sure they're not ovulating or anything like that. If she was ovulating, there would be 2 dots here and there. And as you can see, she didn't mind that at all. That's another reason why I kind of use the tail method, is so that whenever I do have to, you know, kind of tilt them a little bit to see if they're ovulating, they're already kind of used to it. So, I mean, it's one of those things that the animal will get used to it as well. But again, it's something that only, you know, guys or people that have been doing this for a while should do. So that's basically handling for the adult, at least picking them up. Handling them, I mean, you just don't want to, you know, have them super, super high where they could fall and hurt themselves. If you want to, like, pick them up, set them on a bed or something like that, I mean, just use a little bit of common sense. You don't want them falling from a high area or anything like that. You can let them crawl around a little bit on the floor if you wanted to. I mean, just keep an eye on them, because they will, you know, try to find a cave somewhere and kind of hide from you, because that's what they like to do. But that's how you handle an adult. Babies, whenever they're like a couple months old, you definitely don't want to do the tail method, because they're definitely not used to it, and they're more apt to drop their tail whenever they're a small size like that. So again, you just want to do the, you know, pick them up underneath, and then just kind of guide them in your hand. And then if you need them to stop, just kind of put your hand in front of them. Like I said, they usually don't back up, even if you, like, kind of, you know, press on their nose. They might turn a little bit, but they usually don't, like, back up. But again, you just want to have them, you know, kind of walking on your hand, just like so. And usually they'll just sit there and rest. As you can see, this one's actually a radar, so it's an albino. It's a little bit calmer. Sometimes babies at this size can be a little bit jumpy. So again, you just don't want to have them in a place where if they did fall from your hand, that it would be a huge fall. As you can see right here, I'm only about maybe a foot away from the table. So even if it did jump off, it's really no big deal. And then putting them down, same thing, just kind of let them down gently, let them crawl off your hand. You don't want to, you know, just kind of toss them or anything like that. Again, it's just common sense type of stuff. But again, just picking them up underneath. A lot of times you don't want to grab at them, because sometimes if you grab at them, that can be a little bit more stressful as well. It's kind of like a predator coming down from above. That's why it's a lot easier just to, you know, handle them from underneath. Just kind of slide your hand underneath and just kind of use your hand as like an elevator. But as you can see, very, very easy to handle, very, very calm animals. And that's pretty much how you handle babies and how you handle adults. So if you guys have any questions, just comment below. We'll see how she kind of like reacted a little bit differently if I kind of grabbed at her at the top instead of like kind of shooing her onto my hand. She's starting to get a little rambunctious now because of being handled so much. But again, very, very pretty animal. This is one of my G project animals, female, that she'll be one of my breeders this year. Very cool, like greenish tint to her head. Really nice red down the tail and carrot tail. But That's basically leopard gecko handling 101. Thanks again, guys.